And the interesting thing on this candle, if we just take our fib retracement tool, that was exactly into the 50% level. And this is where we saw those huge dark pool transactions. So people were clearly selling off into this level. And actually, I sold off a little bit on some of my positions in Tesla and a few other names. I took about 30% off the top because rallies like this and the indecision we're seeing in markets will probably see more downside. And we saw that on Thursday and Friday as we got another opportunity to buy back in. Now, you might be wondering why I took 30% off right there. And you can see this was our first gap fill at 53.94. And I started selling a little bit there. And then I had this 50% level already marked. And as I saw, we were hitting not only that 50% level, but the previous lows here. You can just tell that's going to be a point of resistance. And in markets like this, with all the uncertainty and things being driven to and fro by news, it was almost certain that we would get a pullback. And we got more than a 50% pullback the next day, and it gave me a chance to get back in. So with big sell-offs like this, counting this as number 5, 4 of the last 5 sell-offs, after we had the most extreme move, we still made a lower low. Extreme move, lower low. Extreme move, lower low. The only anomaly right here was COVID, where things bounced right back up. So the probabilities are stacked against us a bit that we might still see a lower low. And if that happens, I really wouldn't want to see anything below this 4,600 level. Anything beyond that would be a cause for concern, and really breaking our previous low of 4,800, as I mentioned in last week's video, is already pointing to future potential weakness. Because if we go all the way back to the bottom of the 2022 bear, that is exactly our 50% level. And markets in the top half are generally stronger, markets in the bottom half are weaker. So just wanted to recap that. If we do zoom in back to just the weekly time frame, that is not a bad looking candle, but again, we're below this 50%, so that's the work we have to do. If we go back to the daily, the other key gap fill, which I have marked on the chart right here, is just below 5,600. That 56 into 5,700, that is going to be major resistance for us. And if we bounce back up into that next week, I would anticipate more selling to come in there. If we can get back above that and above the 200 MA, this yellow line, that will be our first sign of real strength. But what I would anticipate is if we see a move into that, we'll have a retrace and then hopefully set a higher low. I suppose what I'm saying is do not expect an end to volatility anytime soon.